So this weekend I ran the Mohican Trail 100, and it was a bear. I feel like I got hit by a semi. And then I got up, and then he backed into me.
What did you do in preparation for this race?
The challenge never goes away. I've been over the course many times. There are no surprises doing these loops, and yet every time I come out here, it's always different.
Okay, it is going to get tough around mile 60 and mile 70. You just keep your eye on the finish line.
So you literally go from aid station to aid station. You cannot think that you are going to run 100 miles.
You've got a long, long way to go. Just make sure you take care of yourself and you'll get there.
One foot in front of the other. That's what I've been doing, just counting down the miles right now.
And when your mind says, I've got to stop, your heart says, keep going.
Have the faith in yourself, or just letting other people put that faith back in you.
About 10 o'clock, it got so hot exponentially.
I think Loop 2 is going to be the hottest part of the day.
I think it was 94 degrees.
It was the toughest day at Mohican that we've had.
Another problem people have is they know it's going to be hot, and they try to go as fast as they can while it's cooler.
I tried to run fast in the morning, and I didn't realize that the humidity in the morning here is so heavy.
The carnage was bad. I understand people were dropping.
That's June in Ohio, so that's what you deal with.
And then when night comes, it won't be cool, but it'll be cooler.
If you're just focused on the trail, you start to fall asleep.
I fell asleep while I was running. Stumbled off the trail, and then I got back on the trail going the wrong way.
But he figured it out and turned himself around and, found his way to the finish.
I learned to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Here's some nasty stuff there, and I've got a nice bruise here where I hit a tree.
Since it's a loop course, if you let it get in your head that a particular spot is troublesome, and you start thinking, I'm going to have to do this a second or possibly third and fourth time, depending where it is on the course, it can really take a lot of mental energy. It can drain you on it. The best thing for runners with this place is really be in the moment.
He gives us 32 hours.
Well, for any race, don't start off too fast.
I've been within 30 minutes of the cutoff, and there was never any talk of you're getting close to the cutoff, you need to speed up.
When you see a runner that is ready to drop out, they don't think they can go any further. But then they sit, a volunteer takes care of them, talks with them, and the next thing you know, you see their name on the finishing list, or you see them coming through the finish line.
It's very difficult, though, to watch people go through those hard times. To try and find the words to help them, you can't. You can want it all you want for them, but they're the ones that have to do it.
It's rewarding helping runners coming in, and sometimes they are happy, sometimes they are grumpy, sometimes they just want you to go the heck out of their way, and sometimes they need your help.
The aid station volunteers, God bless them for being out there. We couldn't have the race without them. Their benefit out of it is seeing a bunch of cranky people come in and act like prima donnas.
The volunteers were outstanding.
They're actually excited to help us. Haven't had to fill a water bottle, haven't had to do anything here. Just they take care of us the minute we walk in.
And they just pamper me, which sometimes made it hard to get out of the seat and get down the trail. These trails are real nice trails. They're very runnable for the most part.
I love being out in nature, and it's just it's so much more relaxing, whereas on roads, I feel like I'm pushing myself a lot more.
And there's no flat mile, there's no break really, but it just is all day.
This is a beautiful place we have. Just gorgeous, and I love it.
They had you run by the beach, and it was at the hottest part of the day, so I just jumped in. People were looking at me like I was crazy. It was a game changer, and I started running again. That's when I picked him up, and that was one of my best parts of the race.
This is my first time pacing anyone, so he said that the easiest way to keep him motivated is just to be quiet and let him kind of do his thing as long as I pace him well. So there's not going to be much talking.
I had to slow him down a few times. One of the first things he did is because we were doing the first climb, and the first thing he says, like a hard climb, he goes, My coach says you're supposed to take hills hard, and he starts running up the hill. And I'm like, I'm not. I go, no, we're not running. This is an ultra. You don't run up the hills. You're gonna be dead in 5 seconds. You did great. You did fantastic. I've had a lot of pacers. You did fantastic.
Just saying that because we're on camera.
No. If you stunk, I'd say on camera, he stunk. Yeah.
I run with my friend Greg Trapp every time.
It's blossomed into a long-term, a decade-long relationship.
We have run now 5 races together from start to finish. He pulls me through, I pull him through.
There really is an intimacy there that you just don't find in other sports.
All of the pacers and everybody that's ever helped is so critical and crucial.
My daughter is going to meet me halfway through Loop 4, and that's after she does the marathon earlier in the day. So she's got my addiction habit, I guess, of running.
I am here supporting my husband. This is his first attempt at a 50-miler. He had a bit of a rough start this morning, so I really hope he's on the right trail. Be on the right trail, baby.
My brother and my mom were here, and so it's nice that like they can be supportive and experience this with me.
For them to see me kind of at my most raw and vulnerable states, I mean, you do that sort of thing with a person, and it brings you that much closer. My wife, the races that I've done where she wasn't able to make it were so much harder. She's kind of my secret weapon.
I had my crew chief, my best friend, my wife out there.
Towards the end, he's had years when he's looked at me with those really desperate eyes and you feel really bad for him. You're not sure he's going to finish. I love being the wife of this ultra runner. If you don't keep your focus on what's important, which is your family, that might fall apart.
Because of them, it's the only reason I'm able to do it. From my first one, my parents, I was 19 years old and I said, you know, I want to run 100 miles, and they were like, okay. And then I met my wife and she took up the crewing duties. You really don't know how much this means to me. I mean, really.
He is a huge inspiration to me, and I am a small runner, but when your husband runs 100 miles, you running anything seems so minuscule. This is definitely something we all have invested in, our time and our energy. Number 10 last year was pretty special for us. Not only was that his personal best, but he was reaching number 10. And so to watch that goal become a reality was just absolutely amazing.
Get that finish. It's worth it to finish for that 10th time and get the award of finishing, 1,000 miles. I really want people to have this.
The year that I got my buckle, to get that 1,000-mile buckle just felt a real feeling of affirmation. I am a participant in the sport. I'm not a wannabe. I've just got some degree of durability that I've been able to successfully push through pain or whatever and finish this thing. I belong in this sport. I have a place in this.
So I am lucky enough to be one of the esteemed 10-time finishers. I just feel really special to be on that list. It just shows you don't have to be necessarily fast, or just keep doing it, keep trying, and it works out.
I want to be like Ron Ross, and he's not stopping. I may never catch him.
You got to keep the streak going. 22. So next year's 23.
It's basically when you think you are done. I'm done. I cannot do another step. You have about 40% of what you can do. Just keep moving, and you can go way further than you have done already.
You don't care about your time, just get to the finish line.
Finish before the beer's closing.
When you cross that finish line, the elation is just worth everything you just went through.
You think this is hard right now and it sucks right now, but tomorrow when you're sitting in your house, you have a finish. You didn't give up.
Another finisher. Awesome.
Running 100 miles is really hard, but it's, you just do it in a day and it's done. You get to live your life the next day, but it teaches you a lot about yourself, and you can kind of just push through things that are really hard. It's important to put yourself through pain sometimes to understand how strong the human spirit can really be.
It just gets in your blood, I guess. I mean, I'm 65, so I'm just glad to finish things anymore.
As long as I'm healthy, might as well keep at it.
If you do it right, you really can do it for your entire life, you know, and probably have a better life for it.
So yeah, I'll just keep going as long as my body holds up.
At the end of the day, not every year can be your best race. It's just not a healthy expectation. So there's going to be some years where we're going to cross that finish line right after dark, and there's going to be some years where we're going to watch the sunrise. And all of them are okay. It's just that finish is why we're here.
It's infectious. Everybody's so excited.
But it's such a great community, the ultra marathon community.
The people at the front look up to the people in the back of the pack even more. Truly, the guys that finish first, in some ways it's almost easier because I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight, I'm going to sleep in a bed, and I'm done. I mean, they're still out there. Everyone knows how hard it is to be out there.
You're all out for the same goal. Whatever I needed to do for a runner, I'm here to do that.
People are so kind. They'll drop what they're doing to pace a stranger.
It's community, and it's beautiful. And that's why I like to expose my son to it as well, to see that there's actually community in the world.
To help a new person get their first time finish is just fantastic.
Dave and myself, we're more than happy to run with anybody on the trails.
Greg and I passed a whole lot on the last 2 miles, and we would ask, is this your first Mohican? And he says, yes, this is my first Mohican. And Greg would go over and shake their hands. Welcome to the family.
It's like a family reunion in some sense.
Ultras, especially Mohican, it's been around for so long. You see faces year after year, you develop relationships with people. It's an event that one really looks forward to. I wouldn't know what else to do in the month of June. This is the place to be.